On Monday of this week, Elon Musk went out there on Twitter, posted a graphic showing the age ranges of people getting Social Security. And in that graphic, it included a bracket of people who are apparently over the age of 300, allegedly still receiving Social Security benefits, which, is longer than the program has even existed. But sure, if that's what Elon Musk says, that is what Republicans accept. So on Monday evening, Donald Trump's dim-witted press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, went on Sean Hannity's program on Fox News and doubled down on this already debunked lie that millions and millions of people are getting Social Security checks, even though they're dead. Take a look.
He is now delivering on it, and I've been fighting fake news reporters all day long here in the Washington, D.C. swamp who are trying to fearmonger the American people into believing that this administration is going after their hard-earned tax dollars and their hard-earned Social Security checks. So I want to set the record straight on your show tonight, Sean, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to do so. President Trump has directed Elon Musk and the Doge team to identify fraud at the Social Security Administration. They haven't dug into the books yet, but they suspect that there are tens of millions of deceased people who are receiving fraudulent Social Security payments.
It's tens of millions, folks. We got a bunch of dead people out there cashing checks. Here's the problem. As I mentioned, this has been debunked. They're not cashing checks. In fact, they're not receiving checks either. What has happened is that Elon Musk's gaggle of incel teenagers that he has working at Doge don't understand computer languages. They don't understand, because they have no real world experience, how to read things properly. Because here is what's happened. There are people in the Social Security database who are dead, sure. And it lists their birth date as, May 20th, 1875. But they're all listed, millions of these people, as May 20th, 1875. Now, does that just mean that on May 20th, 1875, we just had a massive baby boom in this country? It absolutely does not. What it has to do with is the fact that, of course, in the age before computers, all of the records of Social Security were kept manually, pen and paper. That's how we had to keep the records. And then, starting around the 60s, when computers in the federal government became a thing, obviously not anything like the computers we have today, but they were still computers that had programming. And that programming language that was used 60 years ago is called COBOL, C-O-B-O-L. And those COBOL programs, because they were very primitive, yes, you can input new information, but for all of the older, former people that have now died that were on Social Security, they had to set a date even for people that they didn't have birth dates for. And that set data point was May 20th, 1875. These people are not alive. They're not 150 years old, as Elon Musk claims. That was just the standard date that they had to put into the system, again, very rudimentary computer language, in order to be able to input that info. That's it. That's where it came from. And because we're dealing with children running Doge, they don't understand the COBOL language because it's not really used anymore, obviously. So they don't even know what it is. They don't know it exists, and they don't know how to make sense of it. And they never even tried. So that's where you get these lies that tens of millions of dead people are getting checks. They're not. They're not. The IRS goes through audits every couple of years. And I don't mean every 10, 15 years. I'm literally talking every 2 to 3 years. They audit the system. Back in 2023, the last time they did an audit, so less than 2 years ago, here is what they found. Roughly 18.4 million people were dead. On the Social Security rolls, 18.4 million were dead. But the audit also found that these 18.4 million people who were dead had not received benefits or reported income for 50 years because they were dead. So they're still on the list, but they're not getting checks and they're not sending money to Social Security because they're dead. See, Elon Musk and his team, not only do they not understand the COBOL programming language, according to actual computer experts, they didn't go as far as to say, like, wow, here's tens of millions of people. It says they're still on the list. You have to move to the second column, though, and see the last time a check was printed and sent to them. See, they didn't do that. They didn't bother to move their eyes slightly to the right to see that these people weren't getting paid. No, because that would destroy their narrative. And instead, this very false narrative that, again, being pushed by Caroline Leavitt, pushed by the White House, pushed by Elon Musk, this narrative has taken hold. And that means these people are going to cut your Social Security. They're going to gut it. That is their plan. That is why they are spreading these lies. That's why they're ignoring the other columns in that spreadsheet showing these tens of millions of people haven't gotten checks, some of them in 50 years. The lies will be used to justify the cuts. And we can debunk the lies. We can spread the truth all we want. But I still don't think we can stop what's coming. And that's going to be a disaster.